Am I the meanest?
Pawn's drunk.
Am I the prettiest?
Pawn's drunk.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Pawn's drunk.
Well, who am I?
Pawn's drunk. Y'all already know this is Punch Run Boxer, a.k.a. Mr. Moonshine himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, El Sazón, El Borracho, El Pastor de Boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know Sunday night. Y'all already know usually I do in the Sunday night, you know, I was doing the Brotherhood Circle, you know what I'm saying? When we talk about some real-ish, you feel me? Talk about real-ish in life. Y'all already know how I say that boxing translates to life itself. You know what I'm saying? I've taken a little bit of break of the Brotherhood Circle and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? Just too much hate going on YouTube that, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that the circle is, you know, loyal, too loyal. Nah, it's not loyal at all. But anyway, man. Yeah, let's talk about this subject, y'all. Let's talk about this subject. Dímelo, mi gente. Dímelo, mi gente. Kevin, The Urge, Leon, Halim, Brave 78, 787, Fight Sports TV was good. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk just a little bit. Let's talk about the title. Let's talk about the thumbnail. Like, ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know this past Saturday, we had Devin the Dream Haney going out there to Melbourne, Australia versus George Kambosos. Gave up all the terms. One-sided. Devin Haney got criticized a lot for having the WBC strap that many felt he didn't earn. And of course, a lot of people didn't like what the WBC has done, the confusion, the double dipping. We understand that. Everybody was frustrated, regardless if you were a fan of Devin Haney, a non-fan of Lomachenko, or not fan of Tio, not fan of Canelo, or not. We all hands on deck. We did not like the franchise. We did not like what the WBC has done. We don't like what they created. We hated the double dipping. Let's be real. And a lot of people took out their frustration on the fighters. We took out their frustration. I mean, let me tell you like this, folks. And we're gonna be talking about what's on the thumbnail, the title, and things of that nature, because of course it needs to be said. But let me just start off the intro with certain things that we need to clarify. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, when you petition for something in the sport of boxing, the fighters cannot petition for anything. You got to be a promoter, you got to be a licensed promoter so you can petition for something. If you want to petition to get a trinket belt, or opportunity to get a trinket belt, a lower scale belt, a regional belt, you petition for it. The votes are in. If you get the vote, then you can get that title shot. The promoters are the only one that can really petition for the belt. The manager of the fighter goes out there and communicate with the promoter and be like, this is what we want. If the promoter feel like, you know what I'm saying, is good enough for them to do, they will do. So as much as we hated the franchise belt and to see what the WBC has done, we gave the blame, a lot of the people, you know what I'm saying, directed the blame to the fighters. Lomachenko can't petition for shit. Matter of fact, I think they played Lomachenko. like a lot of fans was played, saying that they elevated. So, you know what I'm saying, Lomachenko, don't worry, you were elevated. You see what the WBA has done? You know what I'm saying? Now you the elevated. You sure? I don't even think Lomachenko understood what the hell the franchise was. A lot of people be like, hey, yo, but they give it to Canelo. They created it for Canelo. Who petitioned for it? Who created it? The WBC. I don't think that Canelo Alvarez ass said, tú sabes, Mauricio, yo tengo una idea. ¿Qué tú crees con, tú sabes, creating a veo que se llama franchise? Tú sabes, ¿cómo tú sabes, pues? Come on, guys. Yeah, at the end of the day, boxing fans were split, divided, arguing, threatening each other and things of that nature. You already know how this community is. Shout out to Coach G, boxing in the building. What's good? The Urge, Joshua, Manny A. But nah, seriously, Latinos lacking other than Canelo, we've been MIA. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that because we got to keep it consistent. And y'all already know, Punch Drunk Boxing, tú sabes la cultura. You know my culture, Latino, dímelo, ya tú sabes. But we got to be real. the great thing about what's going on in the sport of boxing, that Americans is on top of the game, taking over in every division. Mostly all the divisions, we're taking over. But just like last year on my channel, I say Latino is taking over, baby. Latino is taking over, the Americanized Latino. Because I'm going to tell you like this. It's just not that Latinos last year was taking over, but it was the American Latinos. Now, you know what I'm saying? The Teofimo Lopez, the Jose Ramirez, the Oscar Valdez, Andy Ruiz, you know, he beat Anthony Joshua and stuff like that, but he was getting back to the rhythm of things. But he even slacking. We're going to be talking about that. Brandon Figueroa. Oh yeah, man, it was a surge. It was becoming a surge of an Americanized Latino. I'm gonna tell you like this: I was chopping it up with the WBC and the WBO last year, and I got this compliment that I didn't even know. That, you know, you understand, when you got a channel, you don't know, people be looking at your ish. I always said that, you know, they're looking at us, they looking at this community, they looking at us, yo, pay attention. I always said that, but you know what I'm saying? You don't know exactly who is looking. And I remember when I was in San Antonio, Texas, last year, and I sat with I was sitting down, adjusting my camera on the way into Jamel Charlo versus Brian Castaño, the first fight last year. And I was adjusting my camera and things of that nature, and I was adjusting. I'm about to, you know, get things ready. And I was sitting next to the WBC. Now, I wanted to get an interview with Mauricio Sulaiman back then, but when I asked one of his handlers that he was with, one of the WBC guys, I said, "Oh, can I have an interview with Mauricio Sulaiman if it's all right?" He's saying, "Oh, we can, but right now we're in a rush that they're about to have a meeting, a conference call with the president of Ukraine." I said, "Damn it!" But he goes, "But I know exactly who you are. I see your channel, and you say a lot of things that is not accurate. But I understand, because you're not in the you're not in you don't know the you're not behind the scenes, and you don't know our business. But I like you. I like your channel, even though that you don't speak highly of us." And I said, "Oh shit, they looking at my shit." And then he goes, "I like your channel, even though that you don't speak highly of us, but you're needed. You're needed, and I support that you're a Latino." He said, "You're a Latino channel, and a lot of American Latinos need representation like you. They don't have enough. We don't have enough of us." And I'm like, I never really saw it like that. You know what I'm saying? Latino, whether you're in America or whether you're in the Caribbean. But then I started thinking about it, and I said, you know, it's true. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Americanized Latinos, you know, it's almost like we're still, you know what I'm saying? We're still a stepchild, really, if you really think about it. Like, Danny Garcia don't got Puerto Rico, he got Philly. He don't got the Codo, he don't got the Trinidad fan base. He don't got the island fan base. What he got is Philly Ricans, New York Ricans. Teofimo Lopez don't really got the country of Honduras. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Figueroa don't really got Mexico. Ryan Garcia don't really got Mexico. They got Cali. They got a regional, their city. You know what I'm saying? Gabe Flores Jr. don't really got Mexico. You saw how he got booed his last fight, where he was actually fighting the Mexican fighter from Mexico. He was wearing the sombrero. He goes, and remember the post-fight interview when he was talking about, well, you know what? I understand the bulls, but that's effed up. You know, they look at us like American. They look at me like a Chicano. I'm not real Mexican to them. Remember? Now, hey, man, Honduras loves Teofimo Lopez, Kings of the Commonwealth. You know what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm saying? He's not like the especially after the win. Yes, after the win. You know what I'm saying? And he fought in the Olympics. But I'm talking about the Manny Pacquiao type of the Philippines for the Manny Pacquiao, right? It's almost Nonito Donaire is more Americanized than even Casimero. You know how the American fan base is not really that loyal. But that's what I'm going to say. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button. I know y'all wasn't prepared for this, but you know what I'm saying? It's late night. We talking about boxing. Boxing is 24/7. People from the UK may be, you know what I'm saying, tuning into this as well. My people's from the other side of the pond. Only guy I pay to watch if he fights some better competition is Tank. Javier, back. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. So, black excellence, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we watching. This is what we're witnessing. Black excellence. Now you know your boy, Mr. Moonshine, again, La Cultura Latino. I support all Americans. But of course, my culture is Latino. But we got to keep it real. Right now, who's on the front line right now? Who's the one that's stepping up? Who has stepped up? Is the African-American fighters. The black fighters on the front lines. The black fighters have stepped up, and the American Latinos have stepped back. Got to be real. We got to be real. I know there's some people out there that be like, Diablo, Pons, ¿qué tú estás diciendo, mi hermano? Así no, ¿cómo tú vas a decir eso, Poncha? Yo lo estoy diciendo porque yo hablo la verdad. Unbiased, logically, and objectively. Still an American. We an American, but let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it honest. Let's keep it real. And also, let's be proud of it. Let's be happy about it. At the end of the day, we all Americans, and Americans, we taking over the sport of boxing, baby. I don't give a damn what type of style you like. I don't give a damn if you're saying, well, Devin Haney style is boring, the Shakur Stevenson style is boring. I'm going to say it like this, like I said earlier. He said, TDX, stop with the racism. Ay, Dios mío, Diablo. Take that dick out your mouth. But, excuse me, damn, it is a Christian show. But it is what it is. Got to celebrate it. We got to celebrate it. We got to celebrate what's going on. The American fighters are taking this over the sport of boxing. Look at my pound for pound list, y'all. Let me put my pound for pound list. Hold on, where my pound for pound list is. Where? Boom. Whether people like it or not, there's my pound for pound list. Alexander Usyk, Noah Jamel Charlo, Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence, Naoya Inoue, Josh Taylor, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Dimitri Bivol. Also on my honorable mention is Stephen Fulton. Now, there's people going to be critiquing, what you got Canelo Alvarez? It's number second. He lost to Dimitri Bivol. At the end of the day, you got to look what he did in the span of 15 months. Yet, at the end of the day, by 6 months or next year, I believe this is going to be flooded. It's going to be flooded with the American fighters. You don't know, ladies and gentlemen. You don't know who maybe Deontay Wilder going to be fighting Anthony Joshua. Deontay Wilder fights Andy Ruiz. Let's see what Andy Ruiz does. Even though he beats anybody, I don't think so. What about Joe Smith Jr. beats Beterbiev? What about that? I'm rooting for Joe Smith Jr. And I understand a lot of people feel like Beterbiev is going to be Joe Smith Jr., but I'm rooting for Joe Smith Jr. Let's see what the people saying right quick. Haney at 9 is hilarious. Sorry, Punch. We got to put Devin Haney in. Devin Haney is an undisputed champion. If we do not support it, if we do not congratulate it, if we do not give it power, if we do not put an undisputed in pound for pound, then you know what? Then a lot of people out there is contradicting themselves in terms and reference of what's more important in the sport of boxing. I praise and I preach that legacy reigns supreme. Undisputed? No. It's not gonna be devalued and punched on boxing. No. It's not going to be devalued in punch drunk boxing, and especially if, and for me, Devin Haney's not no one-hit wonder. I believe that George Kambosos was a one-hit wonder. I'm going to keep it real. But Devin Haney's no one-hit wonder. He outboxed the shit out of an ex-world champion in Jorge Linares. He outboxed the shit out of Jojo Diaz, an Olympian, and an ex-world champion, a credible champion, a credible fighter who have beat Tevin Former. He's outclassed Gamboa. He outclassed George Kambosos. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, man. I don't give a damn. I gotta keep it real. I'm gonna put him on the pound for pound list. If we don't put an undisputed on the pound for pound list, look, there's pound for pound list out there that still got Lomachenko. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, but my pound for pound list reserves champions. Hold on. Let me quitar esto, espera. Haney is the luckiest fighter. Ain't nothing lucky what you do in the ring. You put your 12 to 10 week training camp and you prepare for it. You come with a game plan. No, we, ladies and gentlemen, we need to stop with the discrediting. Because if we're gonna discredit Devin Haney, you just might as well just discredit everything, every boxer out there. Devin Haney went out there to Australia, won the world title. This is what the critics wanted, including myself. I said that George Kambosos, prior to when George Kambosos defeated Teofimo Lopez, and we found out that Teofimo Lopez is going to just stay in 140, not going to have the rematch with George Kambosos. I said the primary fight in the lightweight division is George Kambosos versus Devin the Dream Haney. Even though, and I said, a Lomachenko and a Kambosos fight is good. Yeah, it's good, but that's not the primary fight. That's not the most important fight. Lomachenko got beaten. And just like we told certain other fighters, they gotta be in the back of the line. They gotta rise back up, in which Lomachenko did, being Nakatani and Richard Comey. But still, the primary fight in the division was Devin Haney versus George Kambosos. He said, Ignacio said, you're a sellout. I know you're a troll too. I know you have. I already got used to you. In the beginning, I thought that you was like a serious hardcore boxing fan that like serious, but you have become a legitimate just troll. But anyway, these are the type of comments that actually help the content. This right here, because it shows what you have been critiquing. What you have been critiquing. And this is why I say, look where we at. You got Ignacio saying I'm a sellout because I'm giving credit to Black excellence. Then when I'm pumping Latino, a Black person would tell me, you're Black. What the hell are you talking about? Look at you. It's like we're always stuck in the middle. There's always going to be people that's going to feel like, oh, you a sellout, you a coon. We ain't stuck in the middle. But it is what it is. This is a teachable moment at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it's a teachable moment. You are who you hate, Ignacio. Maybe you're a racist. Maybe you are the racist. Maybe just like we could call out the racism when Black is racist towards Latinos, you're a Latino racist towards Black, and that's why you're calling me a sellout. But it's good. It's good so people could see that. So it's good that you put it in the comment, you're being real with yourself. Thomas Candela, all facts. Pound for pound is predicated on winning belts in a multiple weight classes. Also, level of competition comes into play. Top Black fighters won't fight another top Black fighter. Says Mac. I blame it on a woke mentality. They're always bringing up race. Haney versus Shakur would be chess match. I give it advantage to Shakur. He's a better boxer in my opinion. Shakur, okay, y'all talking about that. Orlando, I don't mind being in the middle. Let the other races fight it out. I'm cool. Just leave me alone. Hey, my brother, I'm with you on that one, Orlando. I'm with you on that one. Sometimes people will expose themselves just by speaking facts. Facts. But this, when we in YouTube, right? And regardless, this is a community. This is like the block. This is like the block. This is like the borough. You understand? So there's channels out there. Y'all know it. They're just going to be pumping African-American fighters. Their pound for pound list is going to be African-American fighters. There's other people. There's Latino channels. There's only Latino channels. There's only Latino fighters. They're gonna pump. They're gonna pump up. There's gonna be UK channels. There's only gonna be pumping UK fighters. Japanese channels probably gonna be talking about Japanese fighters. I know Philippine channels that only pump up Philippine fighters. Everybody does it. It's all good. It's when other races likes to put down other races to uplift theirs. That's the problem in the community. But I hear you all that but Haney was gifted those belts. Not sorry, Punch. I ain't convinced with Huggy Bear. Well, it's not see, it's not about being a fan or not. You don't gotta be a fan of somebody. You don't gotta be a fan of his style, but you gotta respect the accomplishment, whether or not. You got to respect the accomplishment. I'm not. Look. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you like this. Like I said in the beginning, they say that Devin Haney got a boring style. They say that Devin Haney is not entertaining. Yeah, at the end of the day, entertaining has nothing to do with us recognizing and identifying that Devin Haney has a good boxing technique. He knows the art of boxing. He knows the science of boxing. He's been schooled very, very well. He fights like a veteran. His intellect is beyond his age in the sport of boxing as a professional. Got to give a lot of credit to Devin Haney. It doesn't matter if you're entertained by him or not. He knows how to defend himself. He knows how to work the jab. He knows the fundamental of boxing, and he does it at the highest level at the age of 23. It's not about being a fan. It's about respecting the art of his skills, his bag, and things of that nature. I'm gonna say it again, like I'm a Knicks fan. I say it all the time. I'm a Knicks fan, so I grew up hating Michael Jordan. He was beating my damn Knicks all the time. But I ain't never gonna say that Michael Jordan ain't shit. I never said that Michael Jordan is not the greatest. I hated Reggie Miller. But guess what? Every time Reggie Miller even attempted a shot, I was like, I thought it was gonna go in. You don't have to be a fan. He doesn't have to entertain you. Entertaining is one thing. Skill set is another. And Devin Haney got skills to pay the bills. And ladies and gentlemen, like I said earlier on the live show, I said, if people want to compare Devin Haney's style to the Mayweather style, to Shakur Stevenson style, but guess what? That boring style, quote unquote, which is not boring because Devin Haney versus Jorge Linares was not boring. Devin Haney versus Jojo Diaz was not boring. Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez was not boring. Shakur Stevenson versus Jamel Herring is not boring. Maybe this fight versus George Kambosos, but let's not forget, it takes two to tango, and George Kambosos he wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing. He wasn't doing his strength. And maybe it was Devin Haney that took his strength and neutralized George Kambosos. He wasn't throwing no combination. He wasn't throwing no punches. George Kambosos actually, a punching output is a more high volume puncher than Devin Haney. And guess what? Devin Haney limited George Kambosos just like Floyd Mayweather limited Manny Pacquiao, who was recorded throwing 700 or more punches a fight. So you got to give kudos to the skills and talent, whether you like whether it entertains you or not. In the channel, I give a lot of props. Y'all know it. A lot of people like to talk shit when I'm giving a lot of props to Demetrius Andre. Maybe the boring style is what you don't want to see, but yet you understand that probably that boring style is going to beat your favorite fighter. You rather probably let a fighter that is the next Dynamite Kid. Maybe that will not satisfy you, but you will give in like, okay, man, at least he got beat up by this guy. But you don't want your favorite fighter to get beaten by the guy that you feel has no power. You feel like he's boring, but that style will beat your favorite fighter. Bivol, is that an exciting style? No, it'd be Canelo. Devin Haney, it'd be George Kambosos to become undisputed. Shakur Stevenson, well, hey, Oscar Valdez when he beat up Miguel Burchett in a very great fashion, in which a lot of people felt that was one of the fight of the year, one of the best performances of the year. And look what Shakur Stevenson did to Oscar Valdez, handcuffed him. Everybody likes, look, because at the end of the day, people like the fight game. Nobody goes on a Saturday night and be like, hey, yo, my man, what you going to watch? You're going to watch the fight? Yeah, so people say the fight. People don't be like, hey, we're going to watch the boxing bouts. We're going to have the boxing bouts party. We're going to watch a clinic tonight. No. People are geared when it's time for a good matchup. People are geared to a fight. But the reality, y'all know, is boxing. And there's going to be fighters out there that don't give a damn about entertaining you. They're there to do their job and win the way that it was meant for them to win. Not everybody's like Manny Pacquiao. I like to entertain the fans. I love that about Manny Pacquiao because he's trying to get my money's worth and he's trying to entertain me. I love that about Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao said all the time, I want to entertain the fans. I want to entertain the fans. Floyd Mayweather was like, man, fuck the fans. I'm going to get my win by any means necessary. My job is to take the fans out the game, out the fight. That was Floyd Mayweather, meaning that I want to silence the crowd. You see there's other fighters that need the crowd to ignite them. You know what I'm saying? To pump them, to give them that adrenaline. There's other fighters that when the fans go hush hush, that's their adrenaline. That's when they know they're winning. When they suck the energy out the fans. In the end of the day, while they suck the energy out the fans, you'll be like, oh man, what the fuck am I watching? Oh man, this shit is boring. What the fuck? But that's when they're having fun in there. That's when Devin Haney is sticking out his tongue out there in Australia. And then he's crossing his arms after the fight and be like, yo, what happened? Why y'all quiet? What happened? What happened to the cheer and the drums? Same thing Jamel Charlo did to the Argentina crowd. What happened? No, Argentina, ¿qué pasa, my friend? Hey, what happened? I want to dance too. We need Virgil Ortiz to make a ring. But let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. The American Latino fighters, what's happening? They took a step back. Let's be real. They sick. Some health-wise, mental illness. And I'm not, and look, by me saying this, I'm not like, it's not about shitting, but I'm just, let's keep it real. This is the fight game. So you got to understand that the fans that watches brutality think brutality. We are geared to see another human impose his, you know what I'm saying? We see another human hurt another human and we cheer. That's us as a fan. So think about this. If the fight fan is geared to watch another human beat on another human, I'm talking about see another human put the type of beat down for that other human to be unhealthy, the last thing that a fan thinks of is a fighter's health. He said, man, he ain't saying I'm unsubscribed. Ay, Dios mío. Deja de estar haciendo. Yo, all I know is they will all lose eventually. I'm not the undisputed champ of Toto. Me too. American Latino fighters are on some saca. You're hoping Haney loses. Los haters. No. See, that's what it is also, that people are geared in this community by by hate so much. So when somebody is giving props to everybody, it's like, what the fuck is happening now? What the fuck, Punch? What the fuck is happening now? Because y'all used to one-sided. Y'all go to a channel and they bum Canelo all day and Tio all day and Ryan all day. And then there's the other channel that debunked them for doing so. And then the other channel loves Canelo all day and love Tio all day and love Oscar Valdez. And Eddie Reynoso was the king of all trainers. And there's the other channel that feel like Derrick James is the king of all trainers. You know what I'm saying? So then people are flip-flopping the channel with channel. There's a lot of people that hate this other channel, but then y'all go, but y'all see them every day, and then y'all go to Punch Drunk Boxing or to another channel, be like, yo, Punch, you know what they fucking said? Hey, yo, Punch, you gonna say, yo, these fucking racist channels and stuff like that, but you live in them fucking channels too. And then your minds get conflicted. Y'all want sometimes y'all want Punch Drunk Boxing to do y'all dirty work. I ain't gonna do no dirty work. If y'all don't like a channel, y'all create y'all own channel. Y'all go after the channel that y'all want to go after. I've done my debunk. You know what I'm saying? And put it this way, Nas, calling it down the middle compromises the people as well. Because they don't know, I ain't gonna subscribe to him. What? Give props to Canelo Alvarez. That's what I'm talking about, Punch. And then you critique it. Fuck Punch then. Get the fuck out of here. What you talking about, Jamal Charlo, Punch? Get the fuck out of here, man. I'm gonna subscribe. You feel me? That's what they do. Yo, Teofimo Lopez is the best. Yo, Teofimo Lopez, I gotta give credit to Devin Haney. He's undisputed lightweight. Nah. Come on, Punch. You know he ain't do it like that. He ain't do it like Teofimo Lopez. You know, Teofimo Lopez, he did it the hard way. He beat Lomachenko, the guy that was pound for pound and stuff like that. Come on, man. You know, come on, man. Devin Haney, man, come on. He only beat Kambosos with it. Come on, man. Look at his resume. Come on, man. I can't fuck with Punch, man. Y'all don't like. There's people out there. Let's keep it real. And I said this once before. They don't like unbiased logically and objectively. I noticed that in this community. I thought that I was coming to this community, and there was a lot of people complaining about channels that just one-sided, that's race baiting, that's talking about racism and it goes after Latinos and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? Damn, I don't like that shit, man. Those are my peoples. Feel me? Those are my peoples, and we all peoples, man. We're from the hood, man. Black and Latinos. What's going on, man? What's going on? Why you hating that? Well, why you hating on my Latinos? Why you hating and stuff like that? But you know what I noticed, man? People don't like unbiased. People don't like you know what I'm saying? Breaking boxing down straight down the middle. They don't like that shit. They don't like that. I noticed that. I never claimed to be the god of boxing, or I know it all, and y'all know shit. I'm here to also learn from y'all. Punch Drunk Boxing's created for the people as well. It was created for the fighters because I feel like mass media also was not talking about the sport of boxing. And YouTube was the home of the hardcore boxing fans. I think y'all could agree that you could go to different channels and talk about boxing 24/7. If I'm not going live right now, there's somebody live talking about the sport of boxing. And the sport of boxing is 24/7. The weigh-in of Rachel Donaire and Inoue was a couple of hours ago. We're still talking about Devin Haney. We're still talking about the UK. We're going to have a fight tomorrow, Japan, and I'm going to be watching 5:30 a.m. Eastern time. But I've been in this community long enough as a boxing content creators, and also who have supported other boxing content creators, who also has helped other boxing content creators recommend, and my man, subscribe to this channel. My man, subscribe to this channel. 95% of them was ungrateful, but it is what it is. We don't know each other. A lot of people out here use each other. I never came out here to use nobody. I came out here to uplift and grow, because I really thought that this community was a very genuine community. There's subscribers out there that knows other channels that go out one another, who snaked out, pause, other channels, and y'all don't even hold them accountable. Fuck it, I'm going to this channel. Fuck it, hey, what's good? Smash the like. I go to the other channel. Hey, yo, what's good? Smash the like. Don't hold nobody accountable. I noticed that. Nah, I'm gonna keep on doing me. You already know, Orlando. But I gotta keep it real with the people. Why not? Ain't nothing to lose by keeping it real. Again, we talk about boxing, but we talk about this community as well. I'm gonna be in this community. Why not call out the bullshit? And why not call out the good? Why not call out the good and why not call out the bullshit? Why not? You know, if people loved when me and Bill going at it, they love that shit, right? Hey, but don't y'all know that it's also at the same time for the entertainment of y'all burning bridges? Don't y'all know that? Don't y'all know that being critical, highly critical, and hate keeping it real? You know what I'm saying? It's also you remember the Chappelle shit. Keeping it real goes wrong. Shit happens in the sport of boxing. You get blackballed. It's a very small community. You talk about shit. Hey, yo, don't let this guy in the fight. Don't let this guy. Don't give him media credentials. Don't let this guy in the arena. Just by keeping it real with the people. Smash the like button. This channel is different. This is why I like it. It's grassroots. Punch. Punch does his way and not play. Follow the leader. Thanks, Chuck. Appreciate that. Glad that you identify that, man. Punch, thank you for standing up for Latinos. You are the only one I see doing it. Thanks, Hoving, man. I appreciate that. I'm always gonna stand by. As an NYC guy, I thought Latino was my people growing up, but the internet made me realize not all Latinos. Said Nas. Nah, you know what it is, man. You know what it is? It's the community, man. We are community, and we got differences, and we have a lot of shit that is similar, and we have differences. In the community with Black Latinos, we have a lot of shit that's similar, but we got our differences. And I think this is the real. And I said it before, and there's gonna be people out there that want to justify it, but this is my experience. I come from a melting pot, so I'm raised with all type of cultures. I'm raised with all type of ethnicity. We know the jokes, we know the stereotypes, we know all that stuff. We know that, especially in New York City. But this is what it is. This is what it is. That even I believe that Black America may not want to understand or care to understand because, of course, the history in America, and we understand who's the oppressed, who's been the oppressed. We understand who needed to fight. We understand who was the slaves out in America. So when other people from different countries, whether it's the Caribbean, whether it's from Europe, Africa, not even Africa, but Asia, Middle East, everybody's coming to America because everybody's having a struggle. Just like a people from Dominican Republic or Colombia, Mexico, Somalia, China, Japan, Korea, Ireland. I know, yo, I know a lot of poor Irish people, poor. The difference between them is that when people come to this country, people are schooled to the oppression and the oppression, the slavery, what Black America had to go through in this country. People are schooled, they go to school, and the people they teach you about what has happened to Black America, to African Americans. And however you wanted to identify yourself. The Europeans, the Caribbean Latinos, the Latinos, Latin American, Asians, they come here and they are schooled to understand what happened to Black America. And what we find is the poor people, they share the community with Black America. The unfortunate thing that happens in our community is that I believe that Black America don't have time to understand the struggle of their neighbor. They only want you to understand their struggle and understand why they're in the conditions that they're in, but never take the time to hold up, wait a minute. How about us? Do you know how I came to this country? Do you know why I came to this country? Do you know that we have similar struggles, but you don't want to understand our struggle? Can you just sit for a while and understand our struggle? And then what happens in our community, that when we do not want to hear each other's struggle, or you don't want to hear my struggle no more, what we're going through and what we have to overcome, then there's going to be a lack of how you say, compassion. And that's what happens in the community. You understand? I remember my mother was having a discussion, and she like, do you know what we have to go through to come to this country and go from this country to enter this country? Do you know what we have to go through? It's always like a battle. But do you know what happened for 400 years? And the other also, the other ethnicity gonna be like, all right, we understand. Is never taking the time to understand the other people's struggle. And I think that's what happens in our community. There is some type of, it's becoming like, well, I don't give a fuck. That's why you hear people saying more and more. You hear it. That's it. Get over it. We don't want to hear it. That's it. That's it. Because people are not into the other people's struggle. That's what you're gonna see. That's what I'm identifying, to be honest. You know? And then when we hear it in boxing, oh shit, it's racist towards Latinos. Oh, what? Not I'm sorry. It's oh man. It's even when we heard about the Devin Haney going to Australia, oh, the Australian gotta be racist. Every fucking pale skin gotta be the KKK for some of the folks out here. And that shit is unfair and that shit is whack. You know? But but I think it's all about communication and understanding, and I think our community would be beautiful. I think if everybody want to understand each other, learn about each other, that's the great thing. That's the best thing. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody got to struggle. Everybody got to struggle. Especially if you live in the hood, in the ghetto, everybody got to struggle. Everybody got one. That means everybody got a story. All we got to do is be genuine about it, what's happening in our community and stuff like that. People want to talk about solutions. Solution is give the time to everybody to tell their story so we could be there for one another in the proper way. Understand how to be there for one another. Understand that sometimes there's situations and there's things that happen in life that we, okay, you know what I'm saying? Let's not be selfish. They got to have their time. We need to support them. Because in my community, when there is a shooting, and the news say, "Oh my God, the white cop shot the black kid" and stuff like that. You know who's standing up with Black America? Latinos is standing up. So when my Latin community is out there protesting because they're trying to kick parents out and deport, we need Black to support the Latinos and stand with us because we come from the same community. So when George Floyd got murked by the animals called the pigs. Everybody standing. Everybody standing. Everybody walking. Everybody marching. Everybody rallying. Everybody rioting. Por el mismo respeto le tiene que dar a Guzman, the woman that got chopped up and raped, who's standing with the Latinos. The malo Latino. Barely the story go national. Entiende? Salute, punch, stop by to show love. Good looking out, man. Before I knew of YTBC, I never knew how toxic boxing fans were. It sucks because it kills the growth of boxing. Facts, my brother. Gracias, mi hermano. Gracias, mi hermano. Appreciate that. Hold on, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, y'all. Pues sí. Say Martin Luther King fought for all of us. Facts, punch. They are not going to stand with us. They have in envidia towards us. And this is why sometimes it's not, you know what I'm saying? I understand this race talk is like, oh, come on, man. This is about sports, man. Get this race talk out of this. But this is boxing. Trust me, I tried it in the beginning. I didn't want to talk about all this shit. But people, that's all for people's talking about it. Diablo talking about it. But you know what? I'll put that hablar también. Let me give you my perspective. Porque yo tengo, I got my experience as well. But hablar también. If everybody going to talk about it, let me talk about it as well. But yo estoy hablando. Good looking out, right of the storm, man. I appreciate you, my brother. Always, man. Loyal support, man. Stop being sensitive and focus on the positive. Yep. This is the positive. The positive is communication. The positive is genuine understanding. The positive is actually just give me the motherfucking ear. Give me the time of day. Give everybody the time of day. You know what I used to say when I was younger? I said, damn, yo. When I'm growing up in the hood, you know who used to get bullied all the fucking time? The Asians, the Chinese, always getting bullied. Man, I live right downstairs with the Chinese store, man. You know how many times the Chinese store been robbed? You know how many times that they took the food, ordered the food, ran out? You know, there was one time in one of the Chinese stores, man, and they was throwing firecrackers and cherry bombs. They caught the Chinese food, the Chinese restaurant on fire. Jodiendo los Chinese in the hood all the time. Knocking them out on the bike, boom, and taking the food. Ordering, hey yo, I'm ordering food and then go to in front of the building and then take the food and bang, snuff the Chinese, boom. In school, the Chinese kid always get, or the immigrant, lo que no saben hablar inglés. Mira ese hick, making fun of the way they dress, making fun of the way they talk. And then for the first time, 2021, finally, there's a hashtag that goes Haitian Stop Asian hate. For the first time, I see people standing up for the Asian community. Do you know how much? Do you know how much years they've been oppressed as well? They've been taken advantage. They've been bullied and stuff like that. Do you know how many years as well that they stood shut? That when they protest, ain't nobody giving a damn. Do you hear them winning any Grammys? Do you hear them winning any Oscars? Do you hear them? What about them? What about them? No. You know why? Because in America, the only story that could be told is Black America's story. I'm talking about the struggle. I'm talking about the oppressed. I'm talking about that's the only story that is allowed to be told, because if another person say, another race say this is what we're going through, but shit, you don't know what we went through. Fuck. The disingenuous. We all have similarities. I'm telling you, we all have similarities. And especially, like, again, in our community, a lot of us was raised less fortunate, raised without good food, good nutrition. Why in boxing, when we don't have no horse in the race, we actually go for the underdog? Even though that sometimes we know that the other guy got the skills and talent above this other fighter, but why normally the people go after the underdog? Why you think even Rocky? Why you think the Rocky movie was even success? Why people love that story so much? Because it's the underdog story. Boxing was a poor man's sport. Boxing is the underdog story. Most of these fighters are the underdog story, so we relate to them. We live vicariously through them. When they fight, we feel like we fight. How many times do you watch a boxing fight? And before it's about to start, they both in the ring, and you get this nervous feel, like if it's you gonna be fighting. Why? You feel like nervous, like you're about to be fighting. I remember when Mike Tyson about to fight somebody, and I get oh shit, Roy Jones Jr. Yo, I'm getting nervous. What the fuck I'm feeling nervous about? Yo, what the fuck? I'm about to watch a fight. So I'm supposed to feel hype. Why I'm feeling so nervous? What the fuck? That's why we love the fight game. We love a 12 round bout. Boxing translates to life itself, and we live in a 12 round bout as well. And I'm gonna keep on saying it because I don't know if you're new to the channel. We all live in a 12 round bout. Sometimes we win it. Sometimes we get knocked down. Sometimes we need to rise back up. Sometimes we need to take that knee to adjust and fight for the next round. Sometimes you winning, and then we get knocked down in the end, like Sergio Martinez. Sometimes we're losing, and then we come out and then we win, and that's life. That's life. But right now in the sport of boxing, right now at the present time, shout out Jamel Charlo, undisputed 154. Shout out to Devin the Dream Haney, lightweight division, top dog, undisputed. Jamel Charlo, undisputed. Shakur Stevenson, unified champion 130, and we know they know as well, might as well. We already thinking that he's the king. Let's be real. Ain't nobody beating Shakur Stevenson 130. Javante Tank Davis, locking it down with the fans, pay-per-view, a superstar. Shout out to Javante Tank Davis. Maybe that boring style that nobody want to watch, maybe this is the reason, maybe why I don't want to see Demetrius Andre versus Canelo. Oh, he's boring. That's all you can say, but you can't say he ain't got no fucking skills. You can't say the U.S. Olympian got no skills. Let's not forget. Also, let's not forget. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it honest. Unbiased, logically, and objectively. When Teofimo Lopez was in the ring with Lomachenko, and Lomachenko couldn't do shit to Teofimo Lopez for the first 7 rounds, what Teofimo Lopez was doing? Jabbing, jabbing, solo plex, jabbing, right hand. Very, very simple boxing. Was it exciting? Let's be honest, y'all. Vamos a hablar, vamos a hablar, vamos a hablar. Vamos a hablar. Let's break it out unbiased, logically, and objectively. Vamos a hablar. Was the first 7 rounds of Teofimo Lopez versus Lomachenko exciting? Or he was putting on a motherfucking clinic? Vamos a hablar, gente. Dani, dímelo, mi gente. Dani, Medina. I'm taking PTO to catch up to, Uwe versus Donaire. We're gonna wait. We're gonna do that fight, man. Glad to see you working, Punch. Yes, sir, man. We working, man. Boxing is 24/7, man. Boxing is 24/7. And thank you, my brother. Thank you for the loyal support, man. Thank you for being a member as well, Donnie. Rachel Donaire is everywhere. Hey, yo. Beyond the ring with Onito and Rachel. I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that message. Hey, it's Rachel. What's good? What's good, Rachel? What's good? What's good? What's good? Rachel's always working. She out here, man. Rach, man, you got to be a promoter now, Rach. You everywhere. Everybody telling me Rachel's everywhere. He telling me Rachel's everywhere on the channel. She's going out here, you know what I'm saying? Saying what's up to everybody in the YouTube community. Hey. They even say, your race is with the enemy. It's all right. It's all right. I'll give a damn about the motherfucking fools anyway. Bitch ass motherfuckers. It's all right, though. You're still my homegirl, Rage. Teal fight was entertaining. No. What I'm saying is, they entertained him. It was entertaining after the 7th round. Let's be honest. Teofimo Lopez held his own. That 12th round was more entertaining than any other round. That 12th round was more entertaining than a lot of what we call quote unquote boring fights. Oh, link update. Oh shit. Hold on. Let me send you the link. Hold on. Oh shit. I got it right here. Hold on. Give me 1 sec. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Oh shit. I was even paying attention to the phone. Better. I got you right here. Hold on. Right here. Got you right here. Got it. Re-gloves. Oh, what happened? T.O. isn't looking good right now in training. I wish him the best. What you mean he ain't looking good right now in training? You saw him training? You don't like how he looking? The T.O. fight was all right. No, but let's be real. Let's be honest. That first 6, 7 rounds is the same shit Devin Haney was doing to Kambosos. Teofimo Lopez was jabbing the shit out of fucking Lomachenko. He took his angle away from him. Lomachenko couldn't do shit. He was jabbing him to the body, jabbing him, jab to the body. Let's be real. Same shit. It's extreme. Raquel in the bus right now. What happened? They kicked you out or something? They kicked you out the country?
No. So did you hear what happened at the glove selection?
What happened? You hear me?
So they didn't like one of yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you good.
Okay. They didn't like one of Nonito's gloves, and of course we had 2 pairs, so we switched it out anyway. but like there was like such a thing about it, and we're like, dude, our gloves were freaking sealed. You didn't even bring sealed gloves. His gloves came in, no, both gloves not sealed. Like just walked in with two gloves on a freaking string, and I was like, I want sealed gloves, and they're like, they're brand new. I was like, I don't know if they're brand new.
Wasn't he? Did he had the last time problem with the gloves, the first fight, or they
Our
didn't
yeah,
let y'all use
our
the
gloves
gloves?
were
What?
messed last time.
So y'all had y'all did had a problem with the
Yeah,
first
our
fight, right?
gloves, man, they like, yeah, the first fight, our gloves like were damaged. I'll see if Nonito will let me post a picture of it later, but they were damaged to the point both sets of gloves, all four gloves in the two sets were damaged the last time, and we had to use Inoue's second pair of winning gloves. So this time we made sure to bring four, and they were all, you know, sealed from Everlast, and we brought them in. The commission opened ours. And then so they're
Yeah.
like, well, we don't like this one glove that Nonito selected. And we're like, and I'm like, babe, they don't like that glove. Do you care about number two? He goes, no, I don't really care about number two, but why are they messing with my glove again? And I was like, I don't know. And I looked at commission. I go, why is his glove not in a seal? And they're like, it's brand new. I go, I don't care if you tell me it's brand new. Why aren't they sealed from the manufacturer? What did you do to those gloves? You shouldn't have been able to touch those gloves. Commission should have opened it.
Yeah.
And then so we argued a bunch, and then they're like, they're new, they're new. And I'm like, I don't care what you say. I was like, I want sealed gloves. And they said, well, we can try to order them right now, but not sure if they'll get here in time for tomorrow. And I go, not my problem. And he go, and then all of a sudden, within 30 seconds, here comes two new pairs sealed. So
And,
they had to
so he
open up
got.
the sealed ones that I wanted, not one. So in a way, took one of the sealed ones that he brought Reyes, and he never uses Reyes, but I made him select the ones that were sealed gloves and not
Yeah.
freaking ones that he just walked in with, you know, unsealed, just hanging on a string.
Yeah. The Reyes gloves. No, the Reyes gloves are the punching gloves. Or those are the
Yeah,
they're for the punches. So y'all got
yeah,
Everlast. Y'all got Everlast, and he got Reyes gloves.
yeah, yeah.
So everything is
Yep.
sorted out good. So everything is good right now.
Yeah, everything sorted out. Everything is sorted out good. It was just a little heated exchange because they were complaining about one of Nonito's gloves, and I'm like, "Well, you're gonna complain about his glove. I'm like, you guys should be the ones talking. You guys come in here with freaking walking in with gloves that I don't know what you did to it. I don't know if those are really 8 ounces. I don't know if you took something out of it." And they're like, "They're brand new." I'm like, "I don't know that. You came in here unsealed. No one brings in gloves to the commission unsealed." Both of his gloves were unsealed, which means they opened it. Once they got it in from shipping, they opened it, tried it on. God knows what else. But I've never seen a fighter bring in gloves into a, you know, into a glove selection unsealed from the manufacturer.
That's some like the amateur. That's what happens when you're fighting like in your first like the 4 rounders and 6 rounders and shit like that. That's what happens in like in the lower scale. So why is happening in an elite high profile fight like this? That's crazy. Oh, what happened? You jumped off. Back
Sorry.
on. It's all right.
We're going from Yokohama to Saitama right now. So, and it's, you know, we're on bridges, so I lost connection.
Okay. So how's the nutrition? How's that? You know what I'm saying? How's the cut weight now? He's rehydrating now. What you doing? What you doing to rehydrate? How you eating?
So Nonito only cut the last two. He woke up at 1:20 this morning. He cut the last two around noon. He took 10 minutes and then cut the last 2 pounds. And then he sat in the room from 12:10 to 12:30. Went down to medicals at 12:30 and then weighed in at 1. So he only took 10 minutes to cut the 2 pounds. And then he went had Pedialyte Sport, like 2 bottles of that, water, and then had pasta, steak. He had a plethora of options. Like, he ordered everything on the menu, but didn't eat everything. Like, he had like he had a spaghetti, then he had an Alfredo linguine, then he had like chicken, and then he had dim sum, and he had ramen, but then he just had like a little bit of each. So he had like everything.
That's good. That's good. That's good. How many pounds do you think you're gonna be hydrating?
Mm,
Or that can't be disclosed.
no, I can. I just don't know. Um,
How much he
I'll weigh
usually
him.
rehydrates? Does he go to the 140, 42, something like that?
No, he usually by tonight he'll probably be maybe 130, 132.
Okay.
Yeah. After his steak dinner and rehydration, he'll probably be about 130, 132 is my guess. Because he only, like, what Nonito does is he touches 118 and goes back up. Like, he doesn't, hang around it.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, he was, I posted that I went downstairs to the official scale, weighed
Uh.
myself on the official scale, weighed myself at the scale upstairs to make sure that we're not like a pound off on the scales.
Mhm.
And then from there, it was 12, and he was like, all right, I'll cut the 2 pounds. And within 10 minutes, he was like, I'm done. And he stepped on the scale, and um, he was still sweating after that. He just sat there. So he was exactly at 118.
Mhm.
Um, an hour before the weigh-ins, and then he kept sweating. Like, he was still sweating, and
Yeah.
so that's why he lost like a quarter pound just from that hour of sitting there. Like, we had to give him a towel. We're like, dude, your head's still sweating. Like, wipe your face.
That's good. There's some fighters that can't even sweat no more. They just bone dried up.
Well, I think, like, Nito was saying, is that a lot of the fighters, they cut out water, and
Yeah.
water is life, and if you cut that out, what else are you going to cut? So he makes sure that he's always throughout the week still drinking water and not cutting that out, because what, like you said, if you're bone dry, like, it doesn't matter how much you move, it doesn't
Hmm.
matter anything. Like, you're not going to sweat. Your body will refuse your body to sweat.
Yeah. Right of the Storm says sending Nonito and Rachel positive vibes and support.
Thank you so much. We're having a good time. It's been really fun. It wasn't exciting until today. Like, it's been like, monotonous, just staring out the window. Because Nonito actually had to take a PCR test today too, so
Yeah.
we were still very careful about COVID for him.
Yeah.
And then that little fun stuff with the gloves. And usually Nonito doesn't give me like headway. Like, he's always like, be nice, do this, do that. But Nonito wasn't having it. Do it. He's like, go. He's like, go after them, do whatever you have to do. He goes, their gloves weren't sealed. So it was me and Richard standing up to the other promoter and Inoue being like, no, you need sealed gloves. End of story.
Let me ask you a question. Is Inoue signed to both promoters? Like, what is he still signed with Top Rank? What is Top Rank business with Inoue? Because I'm kind of
So
confused, because I know he was signed to them. He fought out here during the bubble, and then he had to go. What's Top Rank situation with Inoue?
So, as far as I understand, and I've never seen the contract, of course, but this is from what I understand. His promoter is Ohashi Promotions, who's putting on the fight here in Japan. When Inoue fights outside of Japan, then it's co-promoted by Top Rank. But when it's within Japan, then it's only Ohashi Promotions.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Is Bob Arum over there? Did he fly to Tokyo, or no?
From what I understand,
I mean
Todd's
Japan.
coming, not Bob.
Oh, Todd the Buff.
Yeah, yeah, he's
Okay.
coming from Australia.
Okay. 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 And your cut man is coming from Australia as well, right?
Yeah, he's coming in tonight at pretty much in an hour. He'll meet us in Saitama. because we're going to Saitama early. It's an hour and a half from where we were for the weigh-ins. An hour. And Nonito requested that he stays in Saitama tonight. So tomorrow he could sleep in. The day of the fight, he's not having to leave an hour and a half early just to travel to the venue. So we all moved the entire team from Yokohama to Saitama. And so we'll be like 5 minutes away from the venue in comparison to an hour and a half.
How you feel about the support about this fight? What do you feel about how you feel about the buzz about this fight? Is it the same buzz as that? Because remember when y'all fought the first time, it was a tournament, so it was a tournament buzz and stuff like that. How you feel about the support over there? I know. We spoke about how's the support over there, but what about over here? You feel like it's being marketed very well or not?
I think it is, but I don't think. I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing, right? Like we first of all, it's on a Tuesday, and that's a weird thing to promote. But again, bad thing is there's a lot of great fights in boxing. Good thing is there's a lot of great fights in boxing. So like we unintentionally were competing against the Kambosos and the Haney hype. Being that we're overseas in Japan and most of their telecasts are in Japanese and then they have to interpret it, which makes it not as exciting, to try to cover. They're really strict here. They only have like one reporter from each news outlet. So there's a lot of people that couldn't come. And then, of course, the visa issues, trying to just get in and cover. So there hasn't been a lot of like the last time where it was crazy and open no COVID restrictions, and a lot of people. Also because we kept moving, we were in Tokyo first, then we moved to Yokohama, now we're moving to Saitama. Like it's hard for anyone to track where we are. So when we were in Tokyo for the last fight completely, the fans knew where we were, the press knew where we were. They would, try to call the room, they try to catch us in the lobby, all that stuff. You can't find us now because it's like they've moved us 3 times already.
Man, this how do you feel? How's the confidence? Of course, you know what I'm saying, y'all been doing this for 20 plus years, but how's the confidence going into this fight compared to the first fight? Because when I did a video, I said, the first time, we spoke about this before, that the fans are looking at Nonito Donaire, the last fight, that this is gonna be his last fight for all the time, and things of that nature. But this time, I don't hear anybody talking about Nonito Donaire's age. I don't hear nobody talking about father time. I don't hear nobody saying that he's gonna retire after the fight. I don't hear nobody saying so. I think it's a whole different type of feel to this fight, and I think it's also because the way that he performed his last 2 outings. What do you feel about the respect that is just now people are just paying attention to skill versus skill? Was not that Nonito Donaire, that's gonna be his last fight, or maybe what I'm saying, he's too old. And what do you feel? You think I'm saying it accurately, or you feel the same thing I'm feeling? Oh, she bounced again. A ver que tú fuiste, Raquel. But anyway, but that's how I feel, man. I feel that, Nonito Donaire, a lot of people ain't even talking about his age. My bad. Raquel.
Sorry, that was my. I like. I think people honestly got tired of that narrative, right? Because like
Also, you heard what I said.
Yeah, I heard what you said, and then it's cut out. About the old narrative. I think like I said, when we were fighting Ubali, that was a narrative, and I cut that interview off real quick at the knees. Like, are we announcing his retirement, or are we going to talk about Ubali, right? And they had to redo Nonito's whole interview because I complained about it. And then they did the same thing with Gabayo. Like, eventually, when you keep selling people this story and it doesn't come true, it just sounds fake. So, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, if I was Inoue, I wouldn't want someone to say that about my opponent because it diminishes my
Yep.
win. So I wouldn't want that if I was him. At the same respect for Nonito, I mean that storyline has been given twice already, and you guys, everyone, even the first Inoue fight, oh, he's out of there in 4 rounds, and that wasn't the case. Like, it starts to get like you guys keep, it sounds almost like a hater's perspective if you keep holding on to this thread that hasn't come true. And everyone, everyone keeps saying, well, he's old and all this stuff, and Father Time's going to catch up. But the in all that said and done, the scary part of Nonito is that one punch can change the course of the entire fight. That's the
Facts.
scary part,
Facts.
and that has not diminished.
Facts. I agree 100%. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, Rach.
Hmm?
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Oh yeah. Water in here. I don't think. I don't know. Let me just actually dump that.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't hear.
So that's a good thing. And anyway, you the wifey. I think you're the first person to be like, I know when my man is old, cause I'm telling you right now, he's 25 years old. Trust me, I know.
No, and I'd be the first person, especially in the gym, to say that you know, that it's catching up with him. But I mean, the fact is, like, it's hard to slow this guy down. Like, and it's not just because of his heart; it's his worth ethic and his the way that he lives his lifestyle. So, I mean, I don't have to wake him up in the morning to go to the gym. I don't have to push him. Yeah, I have to drive him because he doesn't drive anywhere. He makes me drive. But besides that, like, he's self motivated, and it's hard to have father time is really something that we've seen over the ages due to bad dieting, due to bad lifestyle, and not taking care of yourself. I've seen, like, you've seen those posters of an 80-year-old that is in a wheelchair and an 80-year-old that's lifting weights and having an
Yeah.
active lifestyle. So it's funny to me, like, through all of COVID, through everything, the excuses people make for why their health is deteriorating faster than the person next to them, and it's a lot based on lifestyle.
True, true, and it always depends on the people. That's why when they talking about father time, um, they act like it's like everybody, and especially when it comes to Nonito, like we all know in the sport of boxing, everybody knows he's different from the norm. He is a living legend in the game. So to compare Nonito to another, good or great fighter, but we got to understand that this is legendary status. So he ain't gonna be your normal 39-year-old. He's not gonna be your normal fighter. He's not gonna go away like a normal fighter. That's why all his opponent, they get dropped with a body shot and that's it, and they're done. There's a difference between that type of and we saw how Donito Donaire, a great fighter, legendary fighter, could sustain that, come right back and fight strong. So
Well,
people
I think also, like, we always talk about it, how, like, boxing is such an old school sport, and a lot of them haven't moved with the times. And I say that because we have ran into many of a fighter that spars every day. Not even every day in camp, like every day of their life. Every day that they're in the gym, they're sparring rounds, and that does damage you. Nonito spars twice a week, and he ramps up the sparring from 4 to 6 to 8 to 10 to 12, back down to 10. Like, so, he's not constantly getting
Taking blows to the
punches.
head.
Exactly. And people think just because you're wearing 16-ounce gloves and a headgear that that's not going to affect your brain. Yes, it is. Because if your brain is affected by those jarring movements constantly every day and not recuperating, the brain is the first thing that signals your muscles to move. If there's no connection anymore, if it's not firing fast enough because you keep getting damage every single day, then yeah, you're going to age.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Wow. If y'all win or when, I mean, I'm talking to Rachel right now, so I gotta say when. I don't feel like I don't want to feel like I'm disrespecting y'all. When y'all win, then y'all going after Butler, or y'all trying to go after the 122 pounder, Stephen Fulton,
No, we have to go after Butler first. No Nito's, we
undisputed.
talked. Yeah, we've talked about this before. He's only in the game because of legacy. He doesn't care about anything else. So if that's his goal, then I have to do everything to support that. And then after that, I know, depending on, in the best of worlds, it would be, undisputed, and then an open match with Chocolatito at 115 to get his full 5 division world championship. And then the sky's the limit. I know he's talked about fighting Fulton. Now, if the Chocolatito isn't available due to whatever mandatories, uh, fights being signed already or whatever, then we could move up to 22. I don't see that as being an issue. But again, the 22 is on the last of the list because for legacy, he wants those two things accomplished: undisputed and 5 division.
Chocolatito, Nonito Donaire. That will be a fight. Y'all called out Estrada too a couple
We
months ago.
did. We did, but like Chocolatito is with Tekken Promotions, who's Mr. Honda, who's been taking care of us here. And I think that fight would be easier to make. Um, Mr. Honda is one of the nicest promoters I've ever met, and he looks after the fighters. So I think that just because of the relationship that we've had with Mr. Honda for so long, I think that fight will just be easier to make than
Oh,
Estrada.
shit, I would like to see that fight. Estrada and Chocolatito, I think they trying to fight each other. What do you think about what do you think about the Devin Haney versus George Kambosos fight? What do you feel about that fight? Did you get the chance to watch it?
Yeah, we watched it. Haney controlled him with a jab extremely well. Um, Kambosos was just looking for those big shots, and I was a little bit afraid at points where Haney he was he was trying to evade the punch and dip to a side that Kambosos
Yeah.
was trying to load on.
hmm
So and he missed him, right? But it was like, whoo, that was close. Ooh,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
close.
He was
You
dipping.
know,
He was dipping his head low, and
yeah,
a lot of times. Yeah, I know. I noticed that. I noticed that.
yeah.
Yeah,
So that
I do.
worried me.
Yeah, I do feel again. Devin Haney was controlling the jab, and he did a good job in landing the jab, clinching, veteran move, veteran movement. I think that George Kambosos was actually fighting like a rookie. Letting himself be clinched too many times, couldn't fight off the clinch, couldn't prevent being clinched. Um, so that was kind of like fighting like a rookie, in my opinion. It wasn't the type of ferocious George Kambosos that likes to throw combination, a counter, and just got to give kudos to Devin Haney to neutralizing George Kambosos. Would you like to see a rematch?
I don't think I'm that interested in that rematch. I mean, I heard someone said on the telecast that it was an automatic rematch, which was interesting to me. Like, usually a rematch clause is, well, it would have been in Kambosos' favor that if he wanted to push the rematch, he had 30 days to do so, right? well, 30 days to state that he wanted to exercise the rematch clause, but not an automatic rematch. I never heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
But anything can happen in boxing with contracts, so I guess that's what they negotiated. I did hear, I heard, I don't know how true this is, but they were saying like that Kambosos, I mean, I know he came in overweight, and then they said, oh, it was just a mind game. Like, I wanted to come in overweight and then cut the weight. I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. Was that true or not?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't know what the hell George Kambosos was on. I think he was feeling himself too much that he was sounding like weird, saying that it's the art of war. This is the deception. Ain't nobody gonna get butt naked in front of everybody and stuff like that because you ain't make weight. Stop it. You probably was nervous. You ain't go to sleep. You was thinking about the fight, so you couldn't lose that weight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
and then they moved the
he was a good
scale.
trash talker, but that fake weigh-in, that was all whack. That was all trashy.
Yeah, and then they moved the scale. Like I was talking to Nito about it. I go, they moved the scale. He goes, what? He goes, they have to recalibrate the scale. And I'm like, and he's all, you ain't supposed to touch that damn scale once you weigh on it. Like they have to come back and weigh in the scale. And I had seen a video from Top Rank that I guess they were talking to commission after, and they're like, yeah, my bad, we shouldn't have touched. Yeah, I understand, we shouldn't have touched the scale. Yeah, no shit. Once both fighters weigh on it, you don't touch it. You're gonna tell me that he came back an hour later or less than an hour later, and then all of a sudden he's like almost close to a pound that he lost from before? Like, I think he would have lost the point two and then been done with it. But he came what, at a half?
34,
Yeah,
34,
34 and a half.
something like that.
Yeah, so he lost 3/4 of a pound.
Yeah, but
And
it
I'm
was
like,
he took kind of long. Usually I see boxers coming right back in 20 minutes. They sit in the tub like for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and come right back. This one was like an hour and maybe 15 minutes,
oh,
hour and a
okay,
half.
okay,
So I could understand. You know what I'm saying, the amount of weight loss, but yeah, man. I think that he just lost. I think he was more overwhelmed than anything. It was his first time, even though that he was fighting home, but it was his first time also fighting in this type of crowd. He's not used to this type of crowd cheering for him. He's used to coming over here in America. Really, nobody know who he is. Nobody having a lot of expectations towards him. I think he got overwhelmed. You know, instead of
yeah.
than I think he got overwhelmed with the.
Well, dude, I was like, holy cow, how many times is Haney gonna hit him with a jab? Like clear, you know what I mean? And then I think it was after the sixth they said that he had landed like around 50 jabs on
Mhm.
Kambosos. Um, and it was like he wasn't even trying to move his head; he was just standing there for every single. And I'm not saying anything because Haney's jab is quick, and it has different timing, and his distance was perfect. But it was
His
like,
feints, his feints was
yeah,
as
his
well.
feints were amazing. It's like Kambosos didn't know how to adjust to it at all. So I don't
Yeah,
know. I
that's
mean, I liked, like, I didn't have an issue with it. I mean, I wish I kind of wanted Haney to throw the straight more. I know he was cautious because he didn't want to get into a fire war with Kambosos, which is what I said before. If he's going to go there, he needs to just effectively box. I think he could have opened up a little bit more. That
yeah.
straight when he did land it was clean. It was beautiful, but I think there could have been a bit more. But I also understand like he
Do
wanted
you
to
mean?
win
Do,
effectively.
yeah. Do you mean more in the terms of being more exciting? Do you feel like that, or just more because if everybody is saying, you know what I'm saying, that even me, I gave a couple of more rounds to Cambosos than a lot of people saying. People saying that there's people that saying that was 11-1, 10-2, that he won almost every round, every second of the fight. So why would he, you know how you say, switch up?
Why would he switch it up?
Yeah, in
Um,
your in
I
your in
just
your
feel
point of
like,
view, is it because you want it to be entertaining, more entertaining for you?
No, I feel like, like the jabs, like sometimes judges look at it and they're like, okay, he's just jabbing. He's not really throwing. Sometimes judges look at it differently, right? Like they want more action. They want a little bit more decisiveness. And I think landing the straight a little bit more often would have kind of put a stamp on, okay, my jab opened it up. He got hit by the jab, but I'm also giving an exclamation point in case you had any question in your mind that I landed that. Here's your straight to follow it up with. I mean, he was right there already. And Kambosos was more so timing the jab, the right hand over the jab. Then he was trying to counter a straight because his counters were more shorter range punches than they were longer range selection. So I think it was there, and he would have been able to effectively get out after he threw that straight. He has great angles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He did a great job. You know what I'm saying? What do you feel about him moving next? You know, people still there's people out there. I think he's top dog in 135. I think that he should be in the pound for pound list, of course, because you're undisputed. We gotta respect. We always say that legacy reigns supreme. So, what do you feel about him versus a Lomachenko, him versus Javante Tan Davis? Who you got winning those fights?
I mean, is Lomachenko coming back anytime near soon?
Let's assume that he would be coming back soon, and if it was Devin Haney versus Lomachenko or Devin Haney versus Tank Davis, who you give the nod to?
Ooh. Um, with Lomachenko, uh, God, like I don't even know where he would be right now. He's like a matrix as well, you know. But Shakur has that a little bit more stylistically better jab to set up stuff. I think the problem that he's going to face with Lomachenko is the volume of precision punching from Lomachenko. If this is the Lomachenko that I'm still thinking about, right? Like the one before Tio. Um,
Okay.
if that Lomachenko comes out, then I think the amount of volume and precision that Lomachenko delivers is it'd be really interesting. I'd want to lean towards Lomachenko a little bit more, just because of that. Him being able to touch Lomachenko. Lomachenko being able to touch Haney more often and
Hmm.
being able to use the angles as well. I mean, I think it'd be an amazing matchup. I'm more
I
inclined to that one than the Tank Davis one.
okay. So who do you got? Who do you got? Devin Haney or Tank Davis? Who do you got to win that fight?
Um, hmm. I think Haney takes Tank.
Okay. Okay. All right. I see. I could understand why. Like, say me, I would have picked Tank a couple of fights ago, but it just
Hmm.
I now I see it as a 50-50 because I just feel like Tank is just I think he's falling in love with his power now. Like
Hmm.
he's falling in love like with how Deontay Wilder was. Like Deontay Wilder used to throw the jab, like the Stavern, but then he started, saying that it only takes 1 second and y'all got to be perfect for 12 rounds. And I think that Javante Tank Davis what I'm saying, Rolly Romero landed more jabs than Javante Tank Davis. Rolly Romero. So I'm like, damn, you letting him do this? Isaac Cruz was doing his thing.
Hmm.
Mario Barrios was doing his thing. Leo Santa Cruz was doing his thing. So now I feel like your power is the one that's bailing you out. It's not necessarily your jab. You know what I'm saying? Setting things up, trapping these
Yeah.
guys. Being the boss in that ring. You know.
Yeah. No, you're correct, and that's kind of why I'm leaning towards Haney on that because he has those that jab of his is amazing to set up stuff. He knows how to cut off the ring. We've seen Tank kind of get on the ropes for absolutely no reason. Broly's ring generalship isn't that strong, and should be no reason that he was able to corner him, but he was. Luckily he had gotten that, the timing on Rolly to where he pretty much blindly threw that shot. He didn't even look, right?
Yeah.
And it was there. So, but besides that, yeah, Rolly was touching him. And if Rolly can touch him, for damn sure Haney's gonna be able to touch him.
See, now when I asked you the question about the Lomachenko and Devin Haney, and I was talking about it earlier that if look at the first 7 rounds of Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez, Teofimo Lopez was actually doing what Haney was doing to George Kambosos. Like
Mhm.
it wasn't exciting. I don't want to let's be real. He was just jabbing him to the solo plex, jabbing him, pivoting when Lomachenko was trying to find the angle, shoot that right hand to the body, and made it for seven rounds. Like he locked him up, you know.
Yeah.
And then Lomachenko adjusted, started throwing more punches, then made it way more competitive and stuff like that. But then in the end, that especially that 12th round, Teofimo Lopez, because of his power, got the it got you know what I'm saying? Because of his power is what also kept Lomachenko, back. Now, I believe that Devin Haney could actually do the same thing with the jab. But then, just like you said about the straight right, you ain't seeing enough straight rights. I don't see enough power punches coming from Devin Haney to actually, when it's time for Lomachenko to adjust, will Devin Haney adjust and actually throw some power shots? And I don't think that he could adjust to that Lomachenko because of the power.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is like, I know more of the newer fans really like the action, and I'm not saying that I don't like the action. I like a combination of the two. I like the scientific approach of it. I like the sweet science that opens it up for, bigger power shots and bigger landing shots, but um it seems like these days that we're getting one or the other. One that's, really sweet science, and then you have the other ones that just swing for the fences. And like you said, like a lot of the power punchers, they forget. Like the reason how you get those power punches to land is you open it up with a jab. I think some people mistake it for, oh, he's just playing tag. No, the jab opens it up. It's the gatekeeper. It keeps your glove in their face, and they don't know what other punch is coming next. And it gives them angles, and you can frame the fighter into those power shots. But to see a fighter combine both of them is really not common anymore, and that's why I think like you have the really exciting power punch fights that are go back and forth like crazy, and then you have ones like the Haney fight that people are like, oh, all he's doing is throwing his front hand, he's not doing anything else, and this is boring. It's working, it's effective. um, and unfortunately that's not what the fans want to see, because social media, a highlight reel isn't going to want to see 20,000 jabs thrown at somebody's face. They want to see knockouts. That's just what it is. That's what social media is.
Yeah, and it's like I was explaining earlier that people gotta separate entertainment. I mean, critiquing the entertainment value of something and then the skills. Just because he's not entertaining, that doesn't mean you got to take the skills away from him and not acknowledge the skill set. But I also believe that the fighters that was actually labeled boring, you know what I'm saying, whether it's fair or
Mhm.
not, those are the fighters that actually likes to preach, whoa, it's the hit and not get hit, is the sweet science. That's the sweet science. I believe in boxing that just like in science itself, there's a lot of elements. There's a sweet science of Mike Tyson peekaboo style. There's a science to Julio Cesar Chavez, a science to Roberto Duran, a science to Sugar Ray Leonard. These guys who just wasn't standing there, not slipping, punching, not being defensive, but they were so good that they could be offensively and defensively. Nonito Donaire, they know, you know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh yeah, just punch me in the face or something. There's a science to Nonito. There's a science to Inoue. So I think that there is a sweet science, and I feel like the people that's labeled the boring wants to always preach, oh, but it's a hit and not get hit. A lot of people, even Chocolatito, who stay in the pocket and slip punches, and it's still hit and not get hit, but he could throw a thousand punches still. So I feel like we're spoiled by offensive and defensive fighter. They still got the sweet science, but they still entertaining and still knocking and hurting opponents. That's how I
Well,
feel.
it really just depends on the fighter. Like again, it's like you said, it comes down to science. There will be fighters who are better at mid-range game, but can't fight inside. So there's no damn way they're gonna be caught hell inside because they can't slip on the inside. Now, for whatever reason, they didn't learn that game. It's just they're not comfortable with it or whatever. But they're more mid-range fighters, so they're gonna fight that way. The longer range fighters are the same thing. You know, Canelo is more mid-range in the inside game. He's not a long-range game fighter. That's why he had so much trouble with people. He fell in love with his power, forgot his jab completely. He was lunging in and only wanted to throw 2 punches. I fell in love with my power game, right? Um, I think Canelo could have done better if he didn't if he had a little bit more of his sweet science back in there and set up shots, he would have had a lot of. I mean, he did have a lot of trouble trying to cut into Bevol's distance, um, but like I said, it depends on the fighter which range that they're comfortable at and which one's their weakness, and you can tell. Um, but it all comes down to the science.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I say this, studying the fight of Inoue, Donaire. I studied that fight. Yo, Rach, I don't know how many times I've studied that fight. Like for real. It's like I can't even count how many times. I give you my point of view, my point of view and my assessment on what I feel, and I know y'all can't talk about especially the game plan, but I feel like y'all didn't throw a lot of jabs the first fight. Um, and I feel like there was there could have been uppercuts that could have been thrown because every time y'all did through the uppercut, you actually landed the uppercut. Um, and I also felt that we're looking at the fight. I feel like Inoue fought his perfect fight, and I feel like Nonito Donaire had way more room to adjust. So I could see the
Mhm.
y'all coming back and throwing some uppercuts. I could see y'all going to the body. When y'all went to the body, y'all always connected on the body. Um, he won in the jab game. He won in the he was winning the he was throwing more punches. So his high it was more of a high volume punching from Inoue. Now I'm not so I do see y'all implementing that. I do see y'all like y'all said in the beginning in the first fight it was more like macho is me against you was the fight game. I'm gonna knock you out, and now y'all coming with a game plan. Do y'all feel like y'all seen enough holes in Inoue to capitalize too? Or you could
Yeah.
disagree with what I'm saying as well.
No, 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 no. I totally agree. I know Nito. I'll tell you, speaking for him, he agrees as well. Before we came to Japan, they did like a 4 round recap. They showed Nonito 4 rounds, and he had to comment on it. And they did the same with Inoue, but I think it's aired here in Japan, so I never saw it. But he came into the car because I didn't go into that interview, and he was like, "Holy shit! I just watched the fight again." Like from round to round, because the thing is, what we do is I pick things for him to see,
Hmm.
and I was like, and he goes, I would have murdered me in that fucking fight. And I'm like, and he was like, I was just walking in, and then he's like, there. I mean, I just wanted to just hit him and swing for the fences, like pretty much.
Hmm.
And I've told you this time and time again that 8 to 4 weeks he had Kenny, 4 to 0 he had his dad, and then fight night, both of them in the corner in 2 different languages. You know,
Hmm.
both of them had amazing game plans, but when you tell somebody one thing in the left ear and the other person in the right ear something completely different, you don't have any idea what you're supposed to be following. And considering each of them had 4 weeks with Nonito, which game plan do you follow? Or do you not just follow any game plan at all? You just go out there and try to bang it out,
Yeah.
which is what he did. And so that's why ever since he stepped out of that ring with Inoue in 2019 and he told me he wanted a rematch, he told Richard he wanted the rematch. And me and Richard knew we were going to have to work to get Nonito, positioned for a rematch. Besides that side of the aspect, we worked on everything else that you guys saw in the Ubali and the Gabayo fight. We're like, where was this? Where you were named the Flash for a reason. You boxed and you had different strategies. You drew in people to do those counters. You didn't just wait for things.
Hmm.
And it was just kind of a reminder. Like I said, all power punches. What happens with power punching? It's so much fun. It's
Yeah.
so, you know what I mean? Like, and the highlight reels are so much fun to watch. And you get more credibility and more respect and more notoriety when you land shots like that. And unfortunately, what happens with all power punchers is they fall in love with it. And then they forget the entire arsenal that they had when they began to begin with.
Yep.
Nonito is he's very versatile. He has a lot of weapons. Thing is, when you have a lot of weapons, but then all of a sudden you're handed a grenade or a bazooka, then you're like, I just want to use this big toy because it makes everything explode.
And
But
especially in the second round where he already, was starting to bleed. That was the second round, so he already hurt him in the second round. And of course, you know how power punches, they smell that blood, they see that blood. I said, oh, sure, I can land this punch again. But
yep,
one of the punches that Nonito was landing consistently, and Uwe couldn't get away with, was the straight right hand. He couldn't get away from your right hand at
no,
all.
no,
That's what actually hurt him. In my opinion, that's what actually, got him bleeding and stuff like that. You had a good, powerful right hand. Yeah, did follow on the left hook, even when Uwe was trying to come with his 4-punch combination. And let's say it looked like Uwe got good momentum, and then y'all stop him on his track, like, hey yo, back up. And he consistently did that. But I feel like, I think with the adding of the uppercut, because I did land it a couple of times and I counted them. I was like, I even got it in my notebook. I don't got it in front of me, but y'all landed on uppercuts. Y'all landed on some of the body shots, and I said, oh man, he got his elbow up high. Y'all know what I'm saying? Get that body shit like I did to a body, and y'all good.
yeah. And I mean, like you said, I'm not gonna really talk about it because there's things I'm not gonna confirm or deny anything that you're saying right now. Um, like all I know is we've been working on this. This has been our goal for 2 years, and I don't know anyone that can say that they've been st- been positioning and studying for a fight that once they walked out, they knew they wanted the rematch. So it's been it's been an obsession, and we've looked at every single thing that he's done, not just with our fight, but in numerous other fights. His consistencies, his habits, and his weaknesses and strengths. And we've gone over it and over it and over it and over it again and again and again. So yeah, I mean it's gonna be a fun night. Wait for it to come. It's 5 p.m. over here, so another 20, what, 30 hours? Not 30 hours, but 28 hours ish.
Yeah.
We'll be in the ring. So we're just, like I said, we're just moving to Saitama. Then we'll have dinner tonight. He'll have his steak dinner, and then he'll sleep probably around 12 midnight or 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. And then he'll sleep until 11 a.m. or 12. Have his brunch, heavy brunch, and then a snack at 4, and then we'll leave for the venue at 6. And they
What?
already said like it doesn't matter how fast the undercards go. Nonito's gonna walk in at 9:03. So even if the undercards,
Okay.
knock out fast, it's a set time for Nonito to walk in.
So 9:03. That's over here in
Should
New
be
York.
9 a.m. over there,
Nine.
right?
Yeah, we're 24 hours away.
No, wait. What time are you over there right now? 5 a.m.
It's 4 a.m. right now.
So it'll be 8 a.m. on your time.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep. 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 So
That's good. I can't.
that's fun times. Fun times.
But all right, right. Do your thing. Do your thing. You know.
Yeah.
When y'all heading back to the States after the fight, y'all coming right
Um.
away, or y'all just staying out there?
No, we always we never leave the day after the fight. First of all, like screw any promoter that thinks I'm going to leave the day after the fight. I hate that crap. Like the
Mm-hmm.
amount of shit I have to pack is ridiculous. Um, so we planned out of here by the 10th. We are thinking of stopping by the Philippines since it's only like what, an hour, 2 hour flight from here.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a new president, and change of administration and just a celebration over there. And then
Is Manny Pacquiao still senator?
he didn't run for Senate.
Oh, so that's it? No more political? That's
I
it?
don't think so.
Oh,
Hey,
he's
Dad.
coming back.
Hey,
Manny
Dad.
Pacquiao's coming back.
Is Manny a senator still or no? Because he ran for president, but didn't the Senate races already finish?
Yeah.
So he's not a senator.
Oh, I gotta change my intro when I talk about Manny Pacquiao. Yeah.
Pull out this
Presidential bid?
presidential tapos ipasok lang.
Did he?
I don't know.
Oh, my dad said he'll find out because he would have had to pull. There's no way he would have been able to pull out because they actually went to the polls for the presidential. So he didn't pull out of the presidential
He
thing.
was asked to pull his presidential. I don't know kung natinuloy niya. He was asked.
Oh, I guess someone asked him to pull his presidential bid to go into the Senate race, but he doesn't. My dad said he doesn't know if he actually did or not.
Oh, now I know. Y'all know he spent a lot of money, so he's coming back to boxing.
I mean, haven't they been talking about the freaking exhibition match with Floyd?
Nah. Maybe that. But why would they do the exhibition? They just come back. He's had enough layoff, you know. I won't doubt it. I think he's coming back for one more fight. I don't doubt it. What you think?
I think he's going to be coming back. I mean, if he doesn't hold a seat anymore in any political arena, then I mean, what's he going to do? I mean, at least with the political arena, he had something to do. But if he's not even a senator right now, I mean, yeah, I think he's going to be itching for something to do. The votes came in for Manny was like between 3 and 5 million, and then the winner, BBM, got what, 30 something million votes? Dad, 30 million votes. Yeah, 30 something million votes was BBM, the one that won. So it was once the numbers started pouring in where BBM was in the lead with like 15 million, at that point Manny only had about a million. Like it was kind of already, you could see. And at that point the second place was at 10 million. If his advisors were somewhat caring about it, I would have pulled Manny from the presidential race and put him into the senator race. So then at least he still held a political office. But I'm not sure if that happened or not.
Yeah, do you think that, because there's people that saying this, Haney's route to undisputed is the weakest in history. Do you feel that?
I've been hearing about that, like that, because like basically won all belts on one shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that shouldn't be the case. But literally, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, say, hey, give it back to the mandatory calendar so I can win it. Like, it's not. This is just it's just what was written in the books on how it went. Like, no one's gonna give up the belts just so you could be like, hey, I want to select a harder road. The harder road was supposed to be him going to freaking Australia, him having the problems with his dad's visa and his team's visa. All these things that were stacked against him, even with a mandatory, an automatic rematch, like, and taking, supposedly what they said is that he took, little money to take the fight on. I mean, it
He
was
got
already a
2.8
difficult
mil.
road. He got what?
Well, that's what's reported. That's reported. They got 2.8 mil. So that's the in his range of getting paid.
Oh, okay. Someone said one. I was like, that seriously, he signed that? But like I said, like these are not things that a fighter can control. You go after all the belts. Now, if they're held by one person, then they're held by one person. That's kind of like saying if anyone comes after Canelo, oh, or not Canelo, but any of the other undisputeds, like, oh, well, you're just taking the easy way because you only have to fight one guy. It's like, well, what do you think that guy's gonna do? Let go of the belt?
I could see the respect. Not a respect, but I could see the difficulty level. Going one by one. You got Canelo did it 168. I could see Jamel Charlo. You know what I'm saying, beating Jason Rosario, then beating Brian Castano. Brian Castano had to beat Patrick Teixeira. I could see. You know what I'm saying, the the difficult. If you look at y'all beat Obali to get that title, then y'all beating on Inoue, who's a pound for pound fighter, and then y'all going to beat Butler. So comparing to it, I could see why people may see that. Tiffany Lopez beat Richard Comey, then a champion, and then he beat Lomachenko, and then so I understand why people may feel that, but undisputed is an undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Undisputed is an undisputed. You got to respect that. Legacy reigns supreme. He got all the titles. He got all the gold. It is what it is.
No, yeah, the story sounds beautiful of having to go off and, collect them on your own. But at the same time, when when Lomachenko had it, and Tio got it, I don't feel like anyone said that, because the thing is that that Lomachenko, had considered one of the best and beaten all the top dogs anyway to get those belts. I didn't
Yeah,
hear that same story when Teofimo had it.
yeah. I see different narratives for people. Let's say like, okay, we was talking about, y'all narratives about the age. We don't hear that age, but we don't also hear Nonito Donaire is going out there to Japan to get the title and bring it back to America. Why that's not a narrative for Nonito?
Everyone has their own narrative and
You
who they
feel
want to
me?
play. Yeah, no, and I think I think a lot of it has to do with the promoters and their good graces. Honestly, like we've talked about this before, some of the journalists won't say what they want to say against a fighter because if the promoter finds out that they said something wrong, they'll not give them a credential the next fight, which I think is BS. I think if there should be certain like requirements that minimum requirements to meet to get a credential, and then that's it. But this picking and choosing because, oh well, you wrote something bad about my fighter and I'm just not going to give you a credit, it's silly.
Oh, you
And
already
pretty
know
much,
that they do that to me.
I know, I know, and that's what I'm saying. It's not it, so I feel like that narrative is when it's against a fighter they don't fully support, and they want to use that narrative. But then when you start to layer it onto somebody else's uh, narrative, they're like, oh, it's not the same. It's like, it's exactly the same. What are you
It,
talking about? And I've
exactly.
seen it time and time again. It's like,
Like,
oh, well, you just want to be a nut hugger and give this guy credit, but you don't want to give this guy credit because you're being a douche about it.
yeah, like I
Okay.
didn't hear Tyson Fury came to America to beat the American champion and go back home. You know what I'm saying? I don't hear it from Manny Pacquiao. He spent his whole career, fighting in America and making his thing in America. And you know what I'm saying? Like he did that fucking every fight. Miguel Cotto came from Puerto Rico and he fought out here in the States. And I don't want to pity like the America. I love I'm patriotic. I'm good that we go out there and get the belts back. I like when Earl Spence went to UK and bring the belts, but it's not more difficult. Everybody else is doing it as well, and it's just not the same type of narrative.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. And I think that also, like, it's always so opinion based, and then the favoring of the promoters and credentials. That and I also think it's the same as like the pound for pound list, right? Everyone pound for pound list is different. They all have these different narratives of like, oh well, why isn't it, if you're saying this guy's on here because of this, why isn't this guy on here? And I still think that has a lot to do with promoters. You can see like which writers like write for certain promoters and against certain fighters.
Yeah.
There's a rhyme and reason to that.
Mm-hmm. True. But it's been a long night. It's been a long night. I'm about to cut this live.
Yep, I'm gonna go. We're almost at the hotel.
Okay. All right, champ. All right. All right, champ. All right, Rachel, man. Be looking on. I'll be looking on. I'll be cheering y'all on, rooting for y'all.
Sounds good. I'll ping you on WhatsApp.
All right.
You guys down in the chats, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell
Tell
for
them.
Punch. Miss you. Wish you were here.
Me too. Me too.
All right, talk to you later, fam. Bye.
Bye bye. Rachel Donaire, manager and trainer of Nonito Donaire, out there. One more day to go to fight Inoue. Two monsters in the ring. It's not only one monster, but two monsters in the ring. So in the discussion earlier, the conclusion of today's is Black excellence is taking over the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Got to give credit. Our American fighters is doing their thing. Black excellence has stepped up. Jamel Charlo, undisputed 154. Devin Haney, lightweight undisputed. Tank Davis, sold out. Barclays Center, a star, pay-per-view star. Bringing new eyeballs to the sport of boxing, sustaining the eyeballs in the sport of boxing, and where a lot of people like to say that boxing is dead, guys like that is keeping boxing alive. We got trainer of the year. For me right now is Derek James. Black's excellence. Gotta give credit. Manager, in my opinion, right now, for manager of the year up today, I know it's still early. Bill Haney, Black excellence. You know what I'm saying? You got what else? What we got? We got Stephen Fulton, unified champion of the world. Black excellence. Shakur Stevenson. Yeah, he got some Puerto Rican blood, Latino blood, but you know what I'm saying? Black excellence. Beating Oscar Valdez, beating Jamel Herring. Shout out to Jamel Herring that retired and stuff like that. One of the veterans, you know, fought for freedom, liberty. You always gonna be a champion in our hearts. Jamel Herring. Gotta give credit where credit is due. And I feel like the American Latinos have took a step back. You know what I'm saying? Tiffany Lopez got the L versus George Kambosos. Ryan Garcia getting back to the rhythm of things and stuff like that. But I feel like that the mental illness have slowed down his momentum when he had to take his break and you know deal with his mental illness. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Virgil Ortiz got sick. You know, he was supposed to be fighting in March, hasn't fought. He's going to be fighting in August, but he had to take a step back as well. Andy Ruiz, we don't know, but he's back in the ring. Who else? Oscar Valdez lost. Miguel Bachel got knocked out. You know? Edgar Berlanga, to be honest, he ain't looking so much promising. He's going to be fighting next weekend, this weekend coming up, but he don't look promising like he was. He don't look like the monster. Zayas got sick. We can't see Zayas. So right now at the moment, these guys are getting sick. These guys are not healthy. They're losing. What's going on? Canelo Alvarez lost to Dimitri Bivol when he was the favorite. Everybody felt like he was cherry picking, unfortunately, right? He lost. What's happening, y'all? What's happening to the Latino? ¿Qué está pasando, mi hermano, mi hermana? ¿Qué está pasando? Amanda Serrano lost to Katie Taylor. What's happening, y'all? What's happening? Said too much focus on ethnicity. Nah, but y'all already know, man. Latino for life. Y'all already know esa es mi cultura. That's my culture. But America, we all in here. We're taking over the sport of boxing. Shout out to all the fighters. Shout out to all the fighters out there. Brandon Figueroa lost. We got Adrian Broner versus Omar Figueroa. That means we're gonna see Mrs. Figueroa. You got David Benavidez. He's out there. He's winning, but we still want to see him in a better situation. The situation where he's at right now is because, you know, he fucked up, you know, a couple of years ago, but he's going to be back. He's back, but, you know, he's winning. Let's see what these guys going to do. But right now, the Black's excellence has stepped up, and they are, you know what I'm saying, running the sport of boxing. The Americans running the sport of boxing, but we got to give credit where credit due, just like we did last year. Over here in the channel, we're saying Latinos taking over the sport of boxing. They take a step back. Black excellence is taking up the sport of boxing. Feel me? And it's still a good thing because America is winning at the end of the day. Morrell Jr., Andy Cruz, hopefully they come. Cubans are going to take over Latin boxing. Watch. Let's see what Morrell Jr. going to be doing. Who else? Shout out to Keyshawn Davis. I hope that he's going to be moving up quick as well. Boots Ennis, mandatory in the IBF. You know, you got Ugas who lost too. Look at Ugas lost. Ugas lost to Earl the True Spins. Están perdiendo los latinos. ¿Qué está pasando, mi hermano? Ponte la pila, ponse la pila, latino. Ponse la pila. But ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know, man. Love y'all. I know it's late, but y'all already know, man. 8 p.m. Eastern time. 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're gonna go live again, man. We're gonna be doing overtime now, man. We're gonna be doing overtime. This is Unbiased, Logically, and Objectively. You wanna know boxing? You want Unbiased, Logically, and Objectively? This is boxing, man. Forget about debunking channels and shit like that. Forget about that, man. It's all about the sport of boxing. The modern day warriors, modern day gladiators. They put their life on the line for pure entertainment and stuff. Like, we need to shit on somebody, we'll do it. But love y'all. Take care. God bless.